Hello everybody, this is Marla Martenson and you are watching another episode of Conversations with Cupid, and today I have a special guest. It's Nikki Jade.
Hello.
Hello Nikki. Nikki of Health Lover TV, and I am a health lover, and I'm so excited to talk to you. I love this quote that you have on your website. I believe you have a divine purpose you are meant to fulfill in this lifetime, one that is uniquely yours. Health is so important to me because without your health, you can't do much of anything else. And I mean, I so agree. And it's funny how, I'm like this health nut, but all I'm doing is taking care of this vessel that I have, my soul has, because where else am I going to live? I can't do things I don't want to do if I don't take care of myself, right?
Exactly. So true.
So you do something called body-mind mapping. And can you just tell us like your story and how you got into that and what it does?
Yeah, I would love to. I love how you just said that this is your vessel. And that's been my journey, is really understanding that this is the vessel for God to live in and through and to connect with us and talk with us. And if we're, filling ourselves up with, toxic food, toxic emotions, toxic actions, our body is going to feel disconnected from hearing that truth and that purpose that's constantly being pulled towards us. So about 10 years ago, I was living in New York City, totally stressed out of my mind. And I remember saying I would always feel more common to be in pain than when I wasn't in pain. I'm like, oh, I don't have any pain in my body today. This is really weird. And so it felt more common to be in pain. And I kind of just accepted that that's how my life is. And I was working 9 to 5 in the fashion industry, just like getting by. And I remember at this time, the doctors told me that during this stressful time that I created a disease in my body that I would have for life, and just kind of, you have to accept it and work around it. And I'm like, no, I just don't accept that. And I was praying and crying, and God is so good because, he could have just healed me in my sleep. Like, he has the power to, okay, Nikki Jade is healed. But instead, I like to say he taught me how to fish instead of just giving me a fish. And he really made me go through the healing journey and gave me mentors that came into my life that gave me the body-mind map. So my mentor, he worked for the CIA and FBI. They would call him in when they couldn't solve challenging cases, and he would come in because he was able to see what people were thinking and feeling, even though their words weren't matching up. And, his story is so unique, and it's too bad. It's such a shame he's not here today, because I just always loved picking his brain and just spending every second I can with him. But before he died, he told me that, he would always say to his mom, why is everyone lying? Like, I can see what everyone's feeling. I can see what everyone's thinking, but their words aren't being true to that. And I was just amazed. And the beautiful thing was that I got to connect with him, and he told me he can help me heal my body. He said it's all emotional. He's like, they say you have a disease for life. That's a load of bull crap. You can heal it. And I was just so excited that someone had hope for me, and they 100% believe that they can help me heal.
So was this a digestive issue?
Yeah, yeah, it was. I'm Italian and Lebanese, so I grew up with the best food ever, and I lived in New York City, and so I had a Zagat book, and I would always go to the finest restaurants, and I remember having to put that Zagat book on the bookshelf and be like, I can't eat out, and it's amazing because my body was naturally going through a detox without me wanting to. So I had to just get vegetables and fruit. There was no labels. There was nothing my body was going to react to. And my body started to cleanse. And once I started to cleanse, all these emotions that were so pressed down, so suppressed, and what your mind doesn't express, what your mind suppresses, your body expresses. So as I'm detoxing and clearing out from all this toxic food, I start to feel these emotions that are coming up. I'm like, this is crazy. I was always able to hide them, but now they're so front and center. I can't avoid them. And that's when this mentor came into my life. And, I remember he was like, it's an investment to work with me, and you're gonna feel difference. And I'm like just paying my rent in New York City. Like, how am I ever gonna afford this $10,000 like investment? But I just felt so connected to him. I got a credit card, I made it happen, and it is the best thing I've ever done.
I heard in a talk that you did that you took out a loan to do this, and I was
I
thinking, oh
did.
my God, because there's so many programs out there. I go to a lot of these self-help conferences and all this, and they're all like, yeah, work with me, it's only $20,000, or it's only one time I was gonna do it, and my husband just about damn near killed me. I mean, I almost gave him a heart attack saying, no, it's only 10 grand. And he's like, are you out of your mind? But for you it worked out great, because you implemented it all, and now you're teaching people.
Yeah, and what you said is so true. There's so many people out there claiming to be, they're going to give you this and give you this, and it's only 20 grand, it's only, 15 grand. Yeah. And you really have to have discernment and feel it. Like, I knew when I was with him, I was like, what he's saying is accurate. I checked out his track record and his testimonies of people, and I just knew in my spirit that this was an important part of my journey, and I had to say yes. And I was so grateful that my yes was bigger than my concerns. And I was just like so trusting that gut feeling and just running with it. And I've always had a really high faith, and I believe that God brings people into your life for a reason. And if you feel connected with them, if you feel like you want the lifestyle they have, or what they're doing, you want to be closer to that, I just say go for it.
And so now you're a coach and you teach people. So you healed yourself, and that's really so there was a quote on your a testimonial that said, working with Nikki Jade opened my eyes to a whole new realm. I never knew we held past emotions in the cells of our body until we did work together. She helped me release blocked emotions from my body, and it helped me feel so free. It was a magical experience, and I recommend it for anyone who's feeling stuck and they can't figure out why. I recently went and had to a Chinese doctor and had something called percussion therapy, which all my friends and my family think I'm absolutely nuts. They can't get it, and I'm going to interview that doctor soon so that he can explain it. But it's basically, like playing the drums with bamboo sticks on you, and I was all bruised up, but it brings that the emotions in the cells to the body to be released.
Yes.
Right?
Oh my
like
God.
Acupuncture
you're
or pressure or massage or rolfing, it brings it, helps bring it out. So is that kind of what you do, or it's
amazing that you made that connection? Because even though we have experiences maybe from our childhood or from our past, and we don't really recall them, like I know from my childhood, I kind of don't really have much of a memory as a babe. Like some of my friends and clients, they remember happened to them at 2 years old, like a clear vision.
I'm like 2-3 years
old. Oh my God, really?
Yeah.
And I'm one of those that have repressed memory. So as I did this work, I do this thing at my live events called rebirthing, and it's a safe way to release trauma that you might not recall in your mind, but your cells in your body remember everything.
That's so I always say breath, right? The breath.
Yeah,
I did that too, and the breath.
It's amazing. So I always say the body never lies, and even though you might not have awareness of what's going on, your body knows. So if you're feeling pain in your body, I have my clients say, when did the pain start? What was a challenge that's going on? What are you dealing with that's not working your highest good? And I always say that, how amazing is it if God created pain to signal to you that something you're doing, something you're thinking, something you're acting out is not in alignment with your purpose and your divine destiny of why he created you. So, if I'm ever, or any of my clients are walking off path a little bit, I'll get stiffness in my neck, pain in my back, and I'm like, ooh, okay. And the real secret is to stop and look at that pain. And I did a survey with a lot of my clients asking them, what do they normally do when pain arises? And I want to ask that to whoever's watching this video of, what do you do when pain arises? Do you go get a massage? Do you run to the chiropractor? Do you do anything to get rid of it? Or on the other hand, do you try and numb it? Do you take medication, drink alcohol, do drugs, watch excessive TV, and just numb it out?
I think
or do you sleep all day?
If you go to a regular doctor, he's just going to give you a pill. I mean, that's it. They're not going to say, go get a massage or go get, because I've, been there where I've gone in for a problem and they just try to hand you a pharmaceutical pill. And so I'm like, no, I don't want to do that. It is, you got to look deeper at what is it, and it's a signal to something that's going wrong. And talk about how I'm really a cheerleader for doing what you love. And if you hate your job, find a way to maybe even if you have to do something on the side part-time to get into something you do love and have a passion. What worst thing is there to get up every morning with an alarm clock knowing that, oh my God, I have to go through 9 hours and then I can't wait till it's Friday. And I remember going up to a bank teller recently and I said, hey, how's your day? And he goes, well, it'll be a lot better at 5 o'clock. And it was 10 o'clock. I thought, how sad. His whole day is just, you can't get that time back. And he's going to go, oh, I can't wait till 5 o'clock. That's no way to live. So what do you suggest? I mean, that's what you did. You found a passion and then you went for it. And that incongruence causes sickness, causes stomach problems, headaches, all that, right?
Yeah, my advice would be to, no matter what you're doing, bring joy to it. So I remember I used to hate when the dishes would pile up. I'm like, I don't want to do the dishes. But I'm saying really take that joy to everything you do, including the dishes. Enjoy the hot water on your hands and, just become present with it. And I take my clients through, I have an online course called Pain to Power program. And that's where I walk them through the 5-step HAPPY system, which HAPPY stands for each part of the system. It's an acronym. And the 4th week is present time power, and that's really about becoming present. So it's really about, even if you're at a job you don't like, and like your bank teller, he can be there and greet everyone and look into their eyes and realize that their soul's on this journey as well, and just bring joy to everything. And when you
it doesn't mean you have to quit, but you can look at it a different way.
Yeah, and like you said, wake up an hour earlier and spend that time doing what you love, whether it's crocheting or walking in nature, whatever you want, and start filling yourself up with doing things you love, and you're going to get more energy, and you'll find that ends up taking more of your life, and then you're doing it all the whole time.
And I always say, too, if you think, well, I don't know what to do, it's like, well, what do you like to do for fun? What would you do without being paid for, if you just for fun? And then try to figure out how to get paid to do that.
Yeah. A lot of my clients, I take them through their story and the pain, because that's why the program is called Pain to Power, because their story and the pain that they've experienced is usually the pathway to their power and their purpose. And once they're in touch with their purpose, that's where I take them through my cherished inner circle, and they get to discover how to turn that into a prosperity and create a living doing what they love.
Oh, that sounds awesome. So if people are going to work with you, you're in San Diego, and they can work with you in person or on Skype and by phone or?
Yeah, I have group coaching, which is really growing. So I used to do it with local people here, and then I was like, anyone can do this. It's on the phone. So that's been really cool. And then, obviously the Pain to Power program has gotten such amazing testimonies. Like, people are emailing me all the time saying they've been crying the whole call, and they're just like, they feel the healing. And what I've done is I've thrown in a complimentary ticket to my live event, which is a $3,000 ticket, thrown it in with the coaching program so that I can get my hands on them in person and do those deep healing exercises to release the trauma that's stuck in their body. And that's when I get to...
So when you heal somebody, is it mostly the breath work and the rebirthing that you're using to bring out the...
Oh, that's just a piece. That's just one of the techniques of many. Yeah, it's like one tool out of the toolbox. Yeah.
So I also wanted to ask you, I watched a video, what you guys, if you go to healthlovertv.com, I'll put up the link.
No, healthlover.tv.
Healthlover.tv. It is fantastic. And you've got some great videos, and I watched one about how to get rid of your glasses. Hello. I had perfect eyesight my whole life. I mean, like a hawk. And then once you get to a certain age, you're like, you're holding out the your arm's not long enough. So, and I think, did you say carrot juice? Because I'm a big juicer, and I juice, and my eyes are still not good, but maybe I need to juice more carrots now.
Well, here's the thing, Marla. The first step is to believe. Okay. Like, you have to have that belief. I remember I had my glasses on, and I actually had contact lenses in, and they annoyed the crap out of me. And I was at this point in my life where I'm like, if I don't love something, I'm just getting rid of it. Yeah. Like, I'm just getting rid of things. I climbed out my closet, and I'm like, oh, I got my contacts. And I'm like, wait, I don't love them. They annoy me. Okay, how do I get rid of them? And that's when I met a mentor who was like, you can heal your eyes. And I'm like, wow. Yes! Like, mentors are incredible. Like, if you don't have someone in your life that you look up to and you look for advice and you're not actively seeking, that's when, if we don't have a vision, we're going to perish. If we don't grow, we die. So we need to constantly be looking for mentors that will help us with what we're wanting to achieve. So he told me he can help me heal my eyes. And I'm like, okay, what do I have to do? He's like, you have to stop wearing them, first of all.
Okay.
Even though it's going to be challenging in the beginning. Obviously, if you have to drive, don't wear them. Like wear them. Don't be not
don't
safe.
Crash.
Yeah. So I remember I wore them in the beginning while I was driving, but I would just like my eye vision wasn't that bad. It was like a 3 negative 2.5 or something. And I would take them off. I would not wear them. And I would have carrot juice every morning. And if you cut a carrot, I think I showed you in the video.
Yeah, it looks like an eye.
It looks like the eye.
Yeah.
And that's how amazing God is. Like he made it so obvious for us to know what foods that will help and assist the healing of our body.
Right.
Incredible. So now this is how many years later? 4 years later, never worn my glasses. I can see clearly. I went to the eye doctor to kind of test to see what he would say. And it was a negative 0.5. So I improved a whole like huge segment. So
all right, well, I'm going to do that. I have pretty much cut out carrots. I've been doing more green juices, but I'm going to carrot juice. I used to do it so much that my palms would turn kind of orangey because I was doing like a couple carrot juices a day. So I'm going to do it, and I'll report back to you because I hate having to depend on these. It's like I can't, I always have to digging around for my glasses. It's ridiculous. I have to read. It's for reading.
But the most important part is to believe and not to allow society to dictate how you're going to be as you get older.
Yes, that's one big thing where people say, oh, now when you get older, you get these diseases or you're not flexible or you're this or that. No, I don't go for that. Yeah, the body does age. It's made to age. We're going to die one day. It's not going to last forever. But we can still be vibrant and vital and just filling ourselves with nutrition. So the juicing and eating things without a label.
Yeah, and my whole motto is experience health in your body, mind, and spirit. Mm-hmm. So, the healthy eating is simply for the body. Yes. And then there's 2 other levels, probably even more. But to sum it up, we got to have healthy thoughts as well. Right. So if we're having stinking thinking, our body is going to feel it as well. And then spiritually, we need to actively seek God and actively seek divine direction. And that's when we can be in complete alignment with our destiny and our body feels great. Like I rarely get pain now, ever, because it's only when I'm getting off track, And I've just made it my commitment to be on track because there's so many people that value and get transformation from doing this work. So I'm like, okay, who else can I serve? Bring it.
Bring it, baby. All right, great. Well, Nikki, thanks for sharing your wisdom and your beautiful smile with us. And I'll put up the links so everybody's got to check out your site because there's a lot of fun stuff on there.
Yeah. So we have 2 events a year, 2 live events. So as I said, they get a complimentary ticket and they can use it for any event in the future.
Fantastic.
If they can't make the next one in May. So excited. Yeah.
All right.
Awesome, Marla. Have a great day.